Drop the gun! Show me your hands!
A number of U.S. cities are offering incentives to people who work remotely to move there, many offering cash in the amounts of $10,000 to $15,000. But are these cities anywhere you'd want to live? This channel mainly covers violent crimes, namely homicides, so that will be the basis used for how safe the city is. So let's start with Rochester, New York, which has a median rent of $1,200 a month, an average home value of around $183,000. The Greater ROC Remote Program is offering grants worth up to $19,000 for remote workers who currently live more than 300 miles from downtown Rochester. Sounds good, but how safe is Rochester? I recently did a video on Rochester that goes into the city a little deeper than this will, but since the summer of Floyd, the murders have nearly tripled, and the murder rate is around 36. Using Chicago as a baseline for a city with high murder rate, Chicago is much lower at 25. Tulsa, Oklahoma has similar rent and home prices to Rochester and is offering remote workers a $10,000 grant as well as other incentives for remote workers moving there from outside the state of Oklahoma. Its murder rates are not nearly as high as Rochester, but the city of over 400,000 people saw homicides in the range of 60 to 83 over the past 5 years, giving them murder rates from 14 to 20. It's not a no-go zone, but if you're moving somewhere for a new life, that's still pretty high. Topeka, Kansas has a median rent of around $850 and average home values of $163,000. So a little cheaper than the first two cities. The Choose Topeka initiative offers $10,000 for renting and $15,000 for purchasing a home for those who secure full-time employment with a participating company. Topeka had 17 homicides in 2022. This is a smaller city with a population around 126,000 people and a murder rate of 13.5. In 2021, the entire state of Kansas had only 173 homicides. The state has definitely seen rising murder numbers over the years, but is not too out of hand yet. The Shoals region of Alabama has a median rent price just over $1,000 and median home values of around $60,000. The region consists of 4 cities: Florence, Muscle Shoals, Sheffield, and Tuscumbia. Remote workers from outside the area making over $52,000 a year can receive $10,000. So let's start with Sheffield, which saw at least 4 homicides in 2022 that I could confirm. The city has a population of 9,500 people, giving it a murder rate of 42. That's Cleveland, Ohio levels. Homicides in Florence over the past few years have gone up from 1 or 2 a year to 5 or more. But with a population of 40,000, that puts their murder rate around 12, which is getting into safer territory. Muscle Shoals and Tuscumbia would be safer choice of the 4 if you wanted to move to that region. They both have 1 or 2 homicides a year, and their murder rates appear to stay below 10. Some safer options for remote workers looking to move: Newton, Iowa, average rent is $700 a month and average home value is $150,000, offers work from home buyers a $10,000 incentive if they buy a home valued at $190,000 or more. South Burlington, Vermont is a little more expensive, but also a safe option. Rent here averages $2,400 a month and median home value is $424,000. But the city offers $7,500 reimbursement of closing costs for out-of-town remote workers. Morgantown, West Virginia, median rent $1,300, median home value $250,000, is offering $12,000 for remote workers from out of state to commit to 2 years of living in the mountain area, as well as other benefits. And lastly, West Lafayette, Indiana, median rent $1,600 a month, median home value $300,000, is offering $10,000 for remote workers to move to the city. The ones with the high rent and home values are in the much safer areas. But there's a little bit of something here for everyone on this list, from the Midwest to northeastern United States.